This is how you set up ads on Meta. Meta is Facebook and Instagram. You're a residential contractor. You want more jobs. That comes from leads, that come from ads. I'm not gonna show you exactly how to create the good ads, but I'm just gonna show you the fundamentals, the basics of actually setting up an ad in your ads manager. To do this, you're gonna need a Facebook business page, you're gonna need a ad account, and you're preferably gonna wanna have a linked Instagram account. Very easy, very simple to set up. I can make a video on that if you'd like, but really should be able to figure out for yourself. It's very easy. You add your payment method, you set up your Instagram business page, your Facebook business page, you link them two together, and you have a Meta Business Suite, a Meta Business account, and that's that. Very simple. Once you've done that, this is what you're gonna do. Again, this is all the fundamental stuff. You only have to learn this once, and from here on, it becomes very easy. But listen, I'm gonna show you how to do it. You're going to Google this, adsmanager.facebook.com. But you're probably gonna get taken to a page that looks something like this. Now, forgive me, I have quite a lot of ad accounts here. Here's a completely blank ad account, and this is probably what it's gonna look like. A few key buttons here. Campaigns. Inside each campaign, ad sets. Inside each ad set is an ad. The campaign comes here at the top. The ad set is inside the campaign. The ad is inside the ad set. Campaign, big boss, ad set here, ad here. The ad, this bit here, this is what the customer sees. This is what the person scrolling on their phone, scrolling on the computer, this is what they see. So really, that's all that matters. But of course, the back-end stuff that I'm about to explain to you is very important too, because you want the right type of people seeing the right type of ad. Very basic, this is how you create the ad. Watch and learn. You see this create button? Create. There's a lot of different ways you can skin a cat. There's a lot of different ways to get new business. But as a residential contractor, on the most broad spectrum, I think you're gonna want leads. And to get leads, there's only a few things you can do. Number one, you could send a person to a website which has a lead form on it, asking for their name, their phone number, their email, what their service they're requiring is, how long they've been in the market needing this service for, have they got quotes from other places, what's their budget in mind, time frame, all those qualifying questions, which you can do by clicking these first three campaigns: awareness, traffic, and engagement. Reason being is because you can put your website link in any of these three ad objectives. You can also do the same for sales, but this is mostly for e-commerce people that are actually selling a product on the website. People like you and I, we're not selling a product on the website. We're selling a service. On the website, it's just a lead form or a contact us button. There's no buy now button, you know what I mean? You're not selling a t-shirt for 20 bucks. We have a much longer sales funnel, which in turn gives us a lot higher ticket price. So sales, I want you to forget about. App promotion, you're not running an app, forget about it. Engagement, traffic, and awareness, these all fall under the same category. Think of them as the exact same. If you want more calls, use one of these three. If you want more website visits, use one of these three. If you want more Instagram page views, Facebook page views, Instagram or Facebook direct messages, use these. But if you want leads, you click leads. Now, instead of me getting into the meta pixel and what a retargeting campaign is going to look like, that's a little bit more complex stuff. If you just want the basics and you want to be able to run an ad by essentially the end of this video, this is what you're going to do. And this is what's going to be perfect for you. Perfect for any residential contractor. You're going to click leads. Let me show you why. Number one is you're going to name the campaign. I want to give you an example. If I am in Sydney, Australia, Sydney leads, that's what I'm going to call the name of the campaign. Sydney leads, pretty self-explanatory. The campaign objective is, of course, going to be leads. Now, the budget strategy can be campaign budget or ad set budget. So for your budget, you're always going to want to choose campaign budget. You don't need to know the ins and outs, just know that campaign budget is going to be perfect for what you're doing. You can set your daily budget, 20 bucks a day, 15 bucks a day, 25 bucks a day, 35 bucks a day, $50 a day, $100 a day. To start, it doesn't matter. The more the merrier. That's all you need to click. You don't need to click the A/B test. You don't need to declare anything. You don't need to change anything. It should look like this. Next, now you're on the ad set name. I'm going to name this ad set Sydney Leads ad set. You can name this whatever you want. I just do this because it's easy for me. Sydney leads ad set. Conversion location. This is where it gets interesting. So like I said, there's many ways to skin a cat. For you, for what you're doing, this is the best way. You are gonna click instant forms. Boom, instant forms. Not messenger, not calls, not website, instant forms. Keep it simple. Facebook page, I don't have a page link right now. This is just an example on a dead account, but you're gonna wanna link your Facebook page, make sure it's the right one. You don't wanna be linking the wrong one. It'll also ask you to link your Instagram page. If they're already connected, don't worry, you don't have to think too hard about this. It's just one click away. For the performance goal, you're gonna maximize the number of leads as opposed to maximize number of qualified leads. I'll tell you why in a second, because the qualification process is gonna be done from our lead form. You're gonna wanna scroll down to audience, and first thing you wanna do is click locations. So for this example, I'm a Sydney plumber, let's say. I don't wanna be in New Zealand. I wanna be Sydney. Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, baby. There we go. So the preference is really up to you, whether you wanna be broad, 25 miles, up to 50 miles, where my audience is quite large, 16.7 million to 19.7 million. Or I can be very specific, 10-mile radius, and now my audience size is, all right, it hasn't updated, but this is sometimes just what Meta does. It doesn't update for whatever reason, but it's a lot more specific, okay? This number will change. It's just glitching on my computer. You'll get that a lot with Meta. So you can choose to do this by radius, or you can just go current city only if you want to just be a bit more broad with it. As you can see, that number changes just a little bit, 16.6 million to 19.5 million. But that's the main idea. Visually, it looks better to do it like this because you can see exactly where you're targeting, of course. And on your right here, your audience definition, it's going to tell you your estimated audience size. Of course, the bigger the better, but don't worry if you're in like a small town or a small city, this number is going to be a lot smaller. As long as it's more than 100,000, you'll be okay. Anything less than 100,000, I get a bit concerned about because it's almost not enough people in return for the money you're spending. So you really need results. This way you can be a little bit more dependent on the algorithm to make sure your ad is getting in front of the right people. Because what we're going to do is this. You're going to go minimum age of, if you think there are 18-year-old homeowners or people that want, for example, a new balcony, a new deck, a new bathroom upgrade, a kitchen remodel, a pergola installation, a whatever the service may be, a new switchboard, you can change this. So let's say I want 25 plus, all languages. You can choose English if you want, but the algorithm's smarter than you. It's going to choose English if you're in an English-speaking country. German if you're in a German-speaking country. You get the idea. You're not going to touch any of this. Not this, 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 not this. Now people may say detailed targeting, genders, age. I say no. I say let your creative, which is going to be the ad that your end user sees, which is either you talking to a camera like this, introducing yourself, introducing your business, introducing the offer, the limited time offer that you're running. And I'll say let the copy, so the creative and the copy, again, what the end user sees, that's what's going to attract the user. Not the targeting, not the specificities, not the specifics, not the specifics. Because I know this audience size is quite large. As you can see, it's already updated, 14 million to 16 million. But again, if you're in a smaller town, a smaller place on the planet, and you only have 200,000 people there, you're going to target someone. Let's say you want to target people that were interested in DIY. All right, here we go. As you can see, my audience size has shrunk by what, more than 50%, 60%, 70%, and that's just with one interest. You can imagine the more specific you get, the smaller the audience becomes. And this can be really, really good, again, for a direct-to-consumer company, like a t-shirt brand, like a perfume brand, like any type of e-commerce brand where you're selling products online, where you can track how long a person's been on what page of your website and what buttons they clicked, and did they add to cart, and did they put their credit card details in and then forget to click, and that's good for that. It's not so good for what we do. We want to keep it broad, we want to keep it general, and again, we want to let our creative, our actual ad be the targeting for our customer. I hope that makes sense. And don't worry, I'm going to make another video on how to make a winning ad and winning ads that are working for our clients right now. So you're not going to touch anything. You're not going to include anything in the detailed targeting. But let's say all your site visits are men or all your site visits are women, then go ahead and click it. But if I were you, I wouldn't. Okay? But please look at your client list, look at your last 20 jobs. If none of them were over the age of 65, I'm not going to be mad at you if you put 60. Okay? That's not going to change my life. It's going to change your advertising life. Okay? Don't want to be too specific. You know, let's say you served between the ages of 25 and 45 and they were brilliant. You can go there and put there. Let's say you've served between the ages of 25 and 45 for the last 5 years, then be my guest and you can put 25 to 45, but just know it is going to narrow your audience and you might pay for it in the long run, but if you're confident that that's the market you serve and you want to get a good rep with those type of people, those young people, then you can go ahead and do that. I'm not mad at you. Placements, you're not going to press anything. Ad transparency, you're not going to press anything. Brand safety and suitability, you're not going to change anything. Your job is to keep it as simple as possible. Next, now we are at the ad level. So I'm going to, again, for example, Sydney Leeds ad. Now this is where you are going to put your ad. This is where a video or an image with specific copy is going to be placed. Now that's another video for another day, and it's actually really the root of our business, what we do for our clients. Okay. We spend hours doing this, put a lot of time and effort into this, test a lot of different hooks, a lot of different bodies, a lot of different call to actions. We've essentially tested hundreds of offers at this point for our clients, from decking, bathroom renovations, pergola installations, retaining walls, kitchen remodels, bathroom remodels, switchboard upgrades, even switchboard maintenance, like a free order, gutter cleaning, pressure washing driveways, exterior, interior paints. We've tested so many things for so many different types of clients. And that's really what it comes down to, testing. And that's what you're going to be testing on the creative level. And when I say creative, by the way, all I mean is the photo or the video that the client is going to see, the customer, the person scrolling their phone. And Facebook ads is a lot different to Google ads, because Google ads, as a consumer going onto Google, I type up, my hair is falling out, what do I buy to replace it? And the answer comes up. I type up, in your case, my toilet's leaking, how do I get it fixed? That's where you come up. Of course, it's going to be a better quality lead, but the price you pay is much more premium, which I'm not against, by the way. It's just a different type of advertising. But if no one is typing this up, not a whole lot of business comes through. The reason why Facebook ads are so brilliant is because it's interruptive advertising. It's not passive advertising. It is putting it out there. It's putting it in your face. Your job as an advertiser, as a business person, is to get the attention of the consumer and educate them and tell them why they should be working with you and buying your service, buying your business. They're buying into you because they like you, because they trust you, and that's your job to portray on the ad. Again, I'm going to make another video about this, about the type of ads that we run for our clients to get them good results. Mostly it's them in front of the camera. I know a lot of you guys probably don't like to hear that, but that's how you become an authority in your industry. Not your industry, but authority in your local market. Again, if you're targeting the 10 miles, 20 miles, 30 miles, 50 miles radius around you and the area you service, people are going to get to know you. They're going to get to know your face. And that's why it's important that you have a reputable reputation. You know, you might have a work van, work clothes, work hat, you look how I'm dressed. I'm in an HGMedia shirt, I'm in an HGMedia hat, and I'm just representing my company right now because I know we're a good, reputable company. The same way you should be representing your company as a brilliant building company in the market, or a brilliant plumbing company, electrical company, a landscaping company, gardening company. You get the idea. Anyway, let me get back to this. Partnership ad, it's not a partnership ad, so you don't need to worry about that. Identity, this is where it's gonna ask for your Facebook page and Instagram page. If they're already linked, this will be one click, super easy. See, Instagram profile right here. But there you go. If you haven't connected by now, you can connect the profile right here. Super easy. This is where the magic is. And by the way, once you've already done the ad, made the ad, you know what you're gonna be saying, you know how you're actually gonna be interacting with these people. This is just the fun bit. This is the easy bit, setting up the ad and watching the leads roll in. This is really the fun bit. But here's what you're gonna do. Create ad. Boom. So a single image or video is pretty self-explanatory. It's gonna be one thing. It's gonna be one image or video on the ad. A carousel, on the other hand, is gonna be multiple images or videos on the ad. You know, sometimes those ads you're scrolling and you can swipe on the ad and you can see maybe different angles of the product or different products that the same business is selling. That's what this is, carousel ads. We're gonna go for single image or video ads. More than likely this is, like I said, gonna be a video ad, fingers crossed, with your face in it. So the customer gets to trust you, gets to know you, and all that good stuff. Destination, this is important. Tell us where you want to send people immediately after they tap or click your ad. Make connections with people by letting them send contact information and other details to you through a lead form. Here's what we're going to do, create a form. Boom. Let's just say Sydney lead form 1. The reason this works so well is because it keeps the user, the customer, the person scrolling their phone or computer, it keeps them on Facebook. As you can imagine, Facebook as a company makes more money when people stay on Facebook. They want your user to stay on Facebook. This is why this works so well. So instead of you taking them to another website or a completely different thing where you're calling them, just let them stay on the same website, which is Facebook, and let them fill in their details on Facebook. You click more volume, sharing restrictions, your ad can be shared, anyone can submit this form, or restricted, only people who are delivered your ad directly can submit this form. This is up to you. If I were you, I would choose open. Not that anyone's gonna really share it, but you never know, right? Flexible form delivery, you're gonna click off. Intro, background image, this is optional. You can add one. If you want it to be the same image as your creative, you can do that. If you want it to be just a completely different image of your company logo, you can do that as well. Again, use image from your ad or use uploaded image, either or. Greeting, this is where I type up Sydney homeowners or whatever the main hook of your ad is. For example, if I'm running an ad as a plumber in Sydney, I'd say, hey, Sydney homeowners, XYZ here from XYZ Plumbing. We're running an offer, we're running a campaign where $150 off their quote when they fill out this lead form. Get in touch with us below, see if you qualify, see if you need our services, and we'll be in touch, or something like that. I want this headline to match the hook or the call to action or something in the ad. So Sydney homeowners, and maybe I'll just include some services we do. So maybe I'll just include something really basic like this. Again, this is not a video on how to actually run the creative and how to run the copy. This is just me showing you how to set up the ad in Ads Manager. So this is where your client is going to be taken to. This is what it looks like on Facebook, and that's what it looks like on Instagram. You're going to go next. Description. Fill out the form attached. And this is where you can ask your qualifying questions. So name, email, phone number, WhatsApp number, street address, city, state, province. I wouldn't recommend doing all this. Here's what I'd recommend. You want their name, you want their phone number so you can call them. You don't even need their email. Email completely, I'd remove email. So I'd go, this is what I would do if I was in your shoes. Phone number. Name, phone number, date of birth, nope. Demographic questions, nope. Work information, nope. National ID number, definitely nope. And you don't need any of this because you know that they're going to be in your radius. So you're completely fine by not asking where they live. Plus that's a bit creepy. Contact information, that's all you need. You want to add questions. You can add whatever type questions you want. Multiple choice, short answer, conditional, and appointment request. I would recommend a few multiple choice questions. For example, like this. Timeline on beginning your project. And I would say ASAP would be one option. Next 30 days would be another option. 1 to 3 months. Not sure. That's what it's going to look like for your customer, something like that. Of course, you can ask so many different types of qualifying questions. I will say this is the main barrier to entry, and this is what increases what's called the CPL, which is the cost per lead. If you have no barriers to entry to fill out this lead form, and you just ask for a phone number and their full name, 1 million people are going to fill out the lead form, but they might not actually need your services, and they might just be time wasters, faffing about. The more of these kind of questions you ask and make the user take time out of their day to really answer them specifically, the more they're going to be kind of entrenched in your business. They're going to be, they're going to know that you care, and they're more likely to pick up when you call. And when you call and you ask a little bit more about their business after the qualifying questions, once you know that they're a good fit, they're more likely to actually close a deal with you on a first site visit. So for example, you can go time on your project, you can go budget, 10K or less, 10 to 20K, 20K to 50K, 50K or more, something simple like that. Again, these aren't rocket science questions, guys, and really, if you just want to speed up the process for your site visit, just ask the first few qualifying questions on your site visit. How long have you had this issue for? What have you tried previously? What's the kind of goal in mind? Are you looking to sell the house? Are you just looking to protect your kids more? Like, what's the haps? Like, you want to save life for your kids? You want to sell the house? Like, whatever the next step is, kind of get to the root of the cause. Not going to teach you how to suck eggs. You know how to sell. That's what you do. It's what you're good at. I'm just telling you the marketing. So you add your qualifying questions there. Next, this is where you add your privacy policy URL. If you don't have one directly from your own website, you can kind of just type up Facebook privacy policy. You can copy and paste this link into there. It's really not that deep. They just want to make sure you're not going to scam them. Next, and then you can say, thank you, you're all set. And that's that. If you want, you can add a few things here. You can add a chat on WhatsApp, you can add a book time, you can add a call business, a view file, a go to website. If I was you, a customer fills out your lead form that is really urgent, and instead of them waiting for you to call them back, they need a quote right now, you can do that. You can say, look, here's my number, and you can say call now. And that's that. It's really that easy. Description, thanks for filling out our lead form. Our team will be in touch shortly. You will get $50 off your quote from this ad. Add whatever touch you want there. But this is really the basics. Again, go to website, view file, call business, book time, chat on WhatsApp. You get the idea. And then you create the form. Our phone number has to be valid. And now our form's been added. Awesome. Scroll down a little bit more. Add creative, image ad. I just want to show you an example here. Primary text, headline, description. You can keep this empty at all times. You do not need to do that. Get offer or get a quote, either or. And this is what it's going to look like. This is what your client is going to see when they're scrolling their phone. I wrote primary text because that's where the primary text is going to be. I wrote headline because that's where the headline is going to be. And once these people click on this get offer, they're going to be taken to Sydney homeowners. You get the idea. Makes sense? That's it. This is it. You don't need to do anything else, any more, any less. You just need to run an ad, to a lead form and spend at least 20 bucks a day, I would say, at least 20 bucks a day, and you will get results. The real beauty in this is not how complicated it is, because Facebook's algorithm is going to do the hard work for you, really, especially when you're geo-targeting people like this with the radius. But the real, this isn't business. This is just a bit of the business. Signing pen to paper is what you want. New jobs is what you want. Keeping your team busy is what you actually want, which makes sense. This is just a step to get there. The follow-up from this section is way more important than this section. The real struggle is after this, a lot of tradies will click publish on their ad, and this is how easy it is, by the way, publish right there. They'll publish the ad, the whole market will see it. A lot of people will inquire wanting something new in their house, a new balcony, a new kitchen renovation, bathroom renovation, right, all that stuff. And the business person doesn't reach out to them quick enough. They might have an admin person that does it for them that isn't reaching out quick enough, or not asking the right qualifying questions, or just isn't trained in how to ask the right qualifying questions. But a lot of issues come up with this. A lot of lead and a lot of marketing agencies will send leads to clients like this, qualified for a phone call from these ads, but not qualified enough to know the ins and outs. This is where we're a bit different at HGMedia, and I say that to say this. Not only do we set these ads up for you, test them and run them and manage them on an ongoing basis and continually test them to get the best results, but our real selling point is we have an in-house team that as soon as these leads fill these lead forms out, as soon as these people fill these lead forms out, your potential customers, the quicker we get back to them, the more likely they are to purchase your service and to engage with your business. There's a study on this, a statistic. The quicker you can get back to a lead, the more likely they are to buy. If you were in their shoes and you fill out a lead form and you're like, okay, that was actually a pretty good ad, pretty good lead form, I actually am interested in that offer. And then a week later, someone calls you and said, hey, you filled out our lead form on Facebook? A week's already gone by. The opportunity's gone. You might have worked with someone else. You're not going to feel valued, respected by this company. But instead, if you get a call from someone as soon as, in the next 3, 4, 5, 10 minutes of submitting this lead form, you get a call saying, hey, I'm XYZ from XYZ company, you just filled out our lead form. I saw that you have a budget of this, you have a time frame of that, you're wanting this service done. Talk to me a bit more about that. How long have you been in the market for this? You're going to walk away thinking, okay, these guys are pretty good, they're pretty professional. And guess what? Subconsciously for them, and for you, if you're in their shoes, you're going to be expecting a higher quote, and you're going to know it's a premium quote, because if they can afford to pay someone to make sure this is done that correctly and run these ads and make sure someone reaches out to me really quickly and efficiently and is asking me the right questions and they care about me and my business, they're going to know that the product you deliver, whether that be, again, a kitchen remodel, a bathroom remodel, a switchboard upgrade, anything, an exterior paint, an interior paint job, they know it's going to be good, because they know you're a reputable, trustworthy company. And that's really the basis of marketing. And again, this video is not to talk your head off about anything or teach you how to suck eggs. It's just telling you how to set up a lead form campaign on Facebook. Facebook and Instagram that fall under Meta. So that's that. When you're done, you click publish, and this is what you're gonna see. You're gonna go to here. This is the important bit. You're gonna go performance, and you're going to click on customize columns. I want you to do this. Get rid of this, 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 this. So you're gonna delete everything, and here's what you're gonna really need to have. This is it. Amount spent. You gotta know how much you're spending. You also wanna have cost per lead. Cost per lead total. No, you just want the cost per lead. Leads total. My apologies. You need a lead total and the cost per lead. Really, you could leave it at that. But if you want a bit more specifics, you can go reach, impressions, and cost per CPM, cost per 1,000 impressions. These are your most important stats right here. These are your most important stats. You need to know how much you're spending. You need to know how many leads that generated you. Reach is good to know how many people you're reaching. Impressions is good to know how many times your ads or marketing messages were on screen. Reach is how many Meta accounts saw your ads at least once. And then cost per 1,000 impressions, average cost per 1,000 impressions. This is your bread and butter. Right here, this is your bread and butter. This is your bread and butter. If you know how much one job is worth to your company, let's just for hypothetical sake say your margins are 15% and you can close a $50,000 job, meaning you can make $7,500 profit per job on average, and you can close one of these 5 site visits that you're going to get from, let's say, $3,000 ad spend. You know that that's going to be extremely profitable for your business. You can spend $3,000, you can close 1 out of every 5 site visits and make $7,500 back. The more you can increase your close rate, the higher that number gets, the higher your revenue gets, which in turn leads to more net profit, more gross profit, more net profit. You get the idea. Business is going well if you can close more jobs. And at the end of the day, you just want to speak to more people. This is just an avenue to speak to more people. That's it. Now, if you want to make more ads, this is what you do. Create and you make more ads. You can make them in the same ad set here, and you can make a new ad. Or if you want to make a brand new campaign, you do so here. You want to learn more about that? I can tell you more about that, but this is the basics on how to set up an ad, how to run a Facebook/Instagram lead form ad. I hope this helped. And again, if you need a marketing agency to do this for you, all the ins and outs, all the intricacies, as well as someone in-house to qualify these leads for you, get in touch with them quickly and efficiently so it doesn't waste your time as a business owner, and then only book them into your calendar when we know they're completely qualified with qualifying questions that you asked your clients. Get in touch with us, hg-media.co.nz, and you can book a time to speak with me. Anyway, appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will leave you to it. Peace.